Lindsay Clancy trial day 18. The defense has officially rested its case, and here's everything you missed from this morning. The day started with Dr. Phillip Resnick. There was some Wi-Fi and lagging issues, but once they got that sorted out, he introduced himself as a forensic psychiatrist who's testified in many high-profile cases like Dahmer and Casey Anthony. He said 4 months after the crime, he did a personal evaluation on Lindsay and her parents to gain information and even spent 3 months interviewing her. After all that, he diagnosed her with bipolar 2 with severe depression. He said on the day of the crime, not only did she hear a command, she felt her body was taken over by an external force in a dream state and did not have control of her own body, like she was a puppet and someone else was pulling the strings. And then immediate sidebar. Reddington then asked him about the criminal culpability of her actions, and he said there's 2 things to consider here, whether she had control of her actions and whether she knew what she was doing was wrong. And he said she had neither. She was simply following a command, and she tried multiple times to even take her own life. He then said there are 5 categories for a motive to filicide, which is when a parent takes the life of their child, and said Lindsay fits in 2 of those categories. The first category he said that Lindsay fits into is called altruistic filicide, which is when a murder is committed out of love rather than hostility, like trying to save a child from something and thinking it's in the best interest of that child to take its life. The second category he said that Lindsay fits into is called acutely psychotic filicide, which is when someone is psychotic and out of touch with reality, and instead of acting on a rational motive, they're simply acting out of psychosis. So in conclusion, he said no, she was not able to conform her conduct to the requirements of the law. He said in her mind, she believed she was saving her children, and if they continued to exist, they would be miserable and not have a decent life. Prosecution then cross-examined and talked about how he has written books and courses about people lying about their illnesses. They talked about how most women who take their kids' lives do it out of hostility and don't have mental illnesses. They also tried saying that Lindsay acted right after hearing the voices, but he said no, she did after a period of time, and the command was her final straw. And they said postpartum depression doesn't happen 8 months after the birth of a child, and he said though it's not typical, it can. The defense then officially rested its case, and the prosecution is now bringing up 3 rebuttal witnesses to come up and testify. Let me know what you guys think about this, but rest in peace to her poor children, and as the trial continues, I'll keep you guys updated.